Our daily Bible reading and devotional for May 21st. Our reading today comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 10. We'll begin reading verse 1. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs in by another way, that man is a thief and a robber. But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the gatekeeper opens. The sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. A stranger they will not follow, but they will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. This figure of speech Jesus used with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. So Jesus again said to them, Truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep do not listen to them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved, and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd, who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And I have other sheep that are not of this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life, that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. This charge I have received from my Father. There was again a division among the Jews because of these words. Many of them said, He is a demon and is insane. Why listen to him? And others say, These are not the words of one who is oppressed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? And now some thoughts for today. Jesus uses two analogies here to describe himself, the door and the good shepherd. The door is that which allows entrance. Though Jesus attempts to use these ordinary examples to express the deeper spiritual meanings, we find the listeners are unable to understand. But they did not understand what those things were which he had been saying to them. John 10 and verse 6. While we have the benefit of the written word before us to reference at will with ease, imagine what it must have been like for the disciples and crowds to hear this strange explanation coming from this enigmatic master. Jesus is challenging those who hear him to look deeper into that what his will is all about. He is more than just a good man. He is more than just a good teacher. He is the way. He is the door by which all who would enter the kingdom must pass. Jesus' compassion shows brightly here as he draws in the imagery of the Good Shepherd. In the beginning of John chapter 10, he relates how a hireling will not have the same dedication as he that is the shepherd. The hireling will flee in the face of danger, for he considers his life more important than that for which he has been given charge over. Young David in the Old Testament was a type, if you will, for that which would foreshadow the coming Savior. We find in 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 34, But David said to Saul, Your servant was tending his father's sheep. When a lion or bear came and took a lamb from the flock, I went out after him and attacked him and rescued it from his mouth. When he rose up against me, I seized him by his beard and struck him and killed him. David, though he was but a boy tending his father's sheep, put his life on the line against the predators of the flock and rescued that which he was tending. Jesus would deliver the quintessential mark by which the greatest of love shall be measured. We find John 15:13 tells us, Greater love has no man than this, that one lay down his own life for his friends. To that end, he did lay down his life. And a question for the day, have you considered the extent to which you would be willing to go for your fellow man? And finally, a thought to meditate on this day. The language Jesus uses here in the Gospels is not as difficult to understand as it is sometimes to implement in our own lives. And those are our thoughts for today, May 21st.